Hi, I'm Mike Cerre. Welcome to PM Magazine from Nassau Coliseum, home of New York's only world champions, the New York Islanders. On tonight's PM Magazine, you're going to meet a little man from Val-Marie, Saskatchewan. His name is Brian Trottier, and he's played a very big part in this team's success. On and off the ice, he's a very quiet but very interesting man. First, here's Danny to tell you about the rest of tonight's PM Magazine.
Thanks, Mike. Hi, I'm Danny Falkay, and I'm in one of the makeup rooms here at Channel 5, where people come in looking one way, and hopefully when they leave, they look a little bit better. Well, coming up on our second story tonight, we're going to meet a man who had a complete makeover, only with plastic surgery, and the changes that were made have given him a whole new outlook on life. Then in our PM Magazine departments, Chef Tell shows you how to make a delicious Vichy Soie. It's a leek and potato soup. In the Self department, Dr. Jim Wasco has a body quiz on temperature taking. And finally, in the Discovery department, Linda Harris continues her great escape to Florida with a visit to Walt Disney World. But first, here's Mike.
Okay, here we go. What you're going to see here is two-thirds of the best line in New York since the Rockettes. Clark Gillies on my left here, Brian Trottier on my right. I have Mike Boss's spot, and if he was playing, it'd be a lot smoother than this. But on tonight's PM Magazine, you're going to meet the man who makes this line work. Brian Trottier!
All right, not bad.
What a pass. Clark, I mean, you've got to get on the ice.
That's just like Boss would do, but only he'd put it in the net.
Waited 8 years and into overtime, the sixth game with the Philadelphia Flyers. The Islanders finally had their Memorial Day picnic on ice and their first Stanley Cup. For Brian Trottier, the leading scorer in the playoffs, the Stanley Cup completed his collection. At age 24, he now has every piece of silver the NHL can award a center, from Rookie of the Year to Most Valuable Player. And while most of his teammates were content just to touch and skate with hockey's holy grail, Mr. and Mrs. Trottier literally took the Stanley Cup home and went to bed with it.
It was like stealing the Stanley Cup.
We differ about that. See, we did steal it, but he says we didn't steal it.
It was like stealing the Stanley Cup. I made sure that the right people knew.
The only Stanley Cup the Trottiers have at home now is a miniature, just like the rest of the Islanders, who call Brian Trotz, or Indian, which is half true. What the self-effacing center really is, though, is just a farm boy from Western Canada. Only 5 years ago, you could catch he and his father driving 75 miles by truck, just so Brian could practice and play in places like Swift Current, Saskatchewan at 20 below. Now it's jet planes, New York, and the NHL.
It's been everything you've always dreamed of. The excitement of the Stanley Cup, the winning of it, the lifestyle that you always thought a Gordie Howe or a Bobby Hull was leading. Is it really that exciting? Is it really that much fun? Is it gonna be? It is.
For years, the New York Rangers have been the big act in the big city, while the often obscure Islanders quietly built themselves a championship team from scratch in less than a decade. Now look who's singing and flashing the sweet smile of Stanley Cup success and the commercial endorsements that come with it.
I'll play the part and I won't need rehearsing. I'm gonna need rehearsing.
Fortunately for his family and the Islanders, Brian is a lot smoother skater than singer. But when he was a teenager, he, his father, and sister sang and played professionally at weddings to support his hockey. Just another Canadian hockey family, with a boy who could skate at 6, who dropped out of school at 16, and promised to go back if he didn't make the NHL by the bewitching age of 19. He made it with a year to spare.
My little kid, I put a hockey stick in his hand when he was 8-9 months as he learned to walk. Now he's going around banging up my wife's furniture, you know, just the same way I'd make a slap shot.
A goal off Brooklyn anyway.
Why? Hey, you shoot the little one here.
Did you ever have any time to do anything but play hockey?
Oh yeah, we had enough time to milk the cow and take the horses for a little jog around the pasture to check the cows right after school.
So with school and working on a farm, how did you fit the hockey in?
We always had time to fit hockey in. That was the best part of the day. The rest of it was work.
At their condominium in Manhasset, Long Island, Nicky Trottier says that Brian rarely brings the game home with him. But his strong sense of family and team have brought home some surprises.
He came home and he said, there's this really nice guy named Mike Bossy, and I feel so bad for the guy. He just got married, and his wife only speaks French, doesn't speak any English, and they've only been married about a week. Could they come and live with us? So my first reaction was, what? I was cooking. He goes, well, the guy's really nice, and I think he's having a bad training camp, but I think if he settles down and he knows his wife's going to be here, he'll have a much better training camp.
It's not exactly a center's responsibility for a rookie, but the Bossy stayed for 2 months. Mike made the team. Brian had a hot right winger, and with Clark Gillies on his left, they had themselves a high-scoring line.
Has there been any particular instance where you wanted to take Brian and just rap him in the head with a stick for something he did on or off the ice?
Oh, I think that always happens, you know, one time or another, but...
I was giving Clark some guitar lessons. I wanted to wrap that guitar over his head so bad. But,
I can't seem to get my hands working right out of the guitar.
Well, if you took the gloves off, Clark, it might be a little bit
he made
easier.
me take up the piano.
So while Clark Gillies sheds his gloves to play his favorite percussion instrument, Mrs. Trottier's favorite son diligently practiced on the piano.
I started playing the guitar, I guess about age 16. And I got to strumming that pretty good. It just became a pastime. So last year, my wife and I decided to buy a piano. I said I'd take a few lessons, and this guy came over, showed me two or three lessons, and this is the first song I ever played on piano.
When it comes to playing hockey in the big leagues, Brian Trottier doesn't fool around. Hockey is his life, his livelihood, and probably a legacy for some other farm boy growing up in Saskatchewan.
I want to go out of hockey. People saying that guy really worked hard, and he deserved anything that came to him because of his hard work. And that's all I base my game on. If I can go out there and give it an honest effort and come off the ice and be very satisfied with my play, I have nobody else to answer to.
Now I'll admit I had a few problems skating with Clark Gillies and Brian Trottier the other day, and Mike Bossy has his job back, that's for sure. But ever since I skated with the front line of the Islanders, they've won 15 straight. So Al Arbor, if you need a hand, give me a call.